Hello ladies and gentlemen, Captain Shack here, and welcome back to Mod Library. After last week's quick spotlight of a fantastic lighting mod for Battlefront 2, I was inundated with people's favorite Battlefront 2 mods. Now I've spotlighted a handful of mods for Battlefront 2 in the past, but you guys have opened up a whole new world to me of Battlefront 2 goodness. The first one that really caught my eye and claimed up all my free time is an absolutely massive mod, Star Wars Battlefront 2 The Ultimate Pack. This single download mod is actually 100 different mods combined into one single, easy-to-use installer. Now, when I say it's massive, it's not just talking about, the gameplay additions or the general content. I mean, it is massive. 7.8 gigabytes compressed and 30 gigabytes installed. So it's gonna take a while to download this one, but it's well worth it. So it's featuring over 100 new maps spanning from everything from the movies to the TV shows, even a few locales from the extended universe. It's got 10 different eras, from Rebels versus Imperials versus Mandalorians versus the Republic versus the droids and the clones, and just goes on and on and on. Now these different eras or mods vary in levels of quality, so you'll quickly figure out the ones that are your favorites. It also has a massive list of new galactic conquest campaigns, of which I've only had really enough time to test out 2 of them. By the way, the Clone Wars Commando one is thus far my favorite. You even get to stab droids in the face with a knife. It's pretty great. Now this list for the campaigns is actually found in the launcher of the game when you first load it up, with a bunch of other options like making the AI harder, choosing what campaign you want to play through, what mods you're going to kick on that can't be kicked on from inside the game. It's considerable. I still haven't gone through all of the options yet. You can find campaigns like the KOTOR Jedi Civil War, the Dark Times campaign. I mean, there's a ton of them in there. Now, I had a blast just jumping into the Clone Wars, or the Rebels versus Empire, the Empire versus zombies, or Heroes versus Villains. Hell, I even had the Ebon Hawk at one point fighting with the Old Republic, the Old Republic versus the Sith Empire. And yes, you can walk around as Karth. The Empire vs. Zombies mode is fun and really makes me want to play the multiplayer with the community. It starts off with the Zombie Vader running around being super OP, and the rest of the map is, Empire Stormtroopers. Each kill he gets turns the player into a zombie, and the rest is running and screaming for your life. Of course, these eras have their own sides, classes, and vehicles when you jump into them. Speaking of vehicles, each one of these has new models for the different assorted vehicles that were already in the game, and it adds a bunch of new vehicles. Some maps even have cockpits for the vehicles, for the space ones. New space units and new functionality for those space units are included, and lots of the old maps have reworked textures for, say, stuff like the AT-AT or the AT-ST. The classes for each one of these new eras differ wildly in how they function. And again, quality here is hit or miss with the different ones that you're testing out. You'll figure out which ones you really like. Clone Commando, by the way, is still really cool. Some of the fun ones that I tried out were the Rebel versus Imperial rework mod that's built into this. It's pretty neat. Like being able to deploy your own turret as a Rebel soldier that you can jump on. Even the AI will jump on this, so you can kind of use that as a strategy. Or the orbital strike for the officer class that you can get, or the shield generator on this assault class. It's really badass. This is one of those big compilation mods that are a blast to just rush in and test out all of the things. There's just so much content here. Now, I did attempt to play this multiplayer, as the website where you download the mod from has a FAQ with directions on how to get multiplayer working with or without Game Ranger. If you don't know what Game Ranger is, it's a piece of software that you can play old, mostly GameSpy games. That since GameSpy has been closed down, you can't play those games multiplayer anymore. You can use Game Ranger to get into multiplayer matches with people who want to play those older games. Now, this mod has directions on how to get this working without using another piece of software, and it's fairly easy to do. Sadly, there were only a handful of people playing at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. Who would have guessed? So I'm gonna try again sometime this coming week, probably this Saturday, to jump in and see what's going on. Maybe even try to host a server and see if people will connect. If you're looking to get your Star Wars fix and feel like the EA Battlefront lacks really content to play, then check out Star Wars Battlefront 2, the Ultimate Pack. Links in the description. Oh, and before you go, I cover a cargo bay full of sci-fi, space games, and the great stuff coming out of the modding community. I have so for years. So if you're a like-minded gamer, think about hitting that subscribe button, or check out some of these other sci-fi gaming videos I've done in the past. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.